Today I'm trying to create ram's horns, and I'm attaching them to a hood. I am using a very soft, flexible wire, which is going to be the basis for the curl that I want. Now I have run the wire into the seam, the same seam where the ears are attached. It goes through here and out there. Now I know that this isn't gonna stay up. I probably want them down around curved kind of like this anyways. But the wire will enable me to bend them and hold them into position. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to create these ram's horns, which will become a permanent attachment to this sheep's hood. I'm doing this as a gray sheep because I want this sheep to look like an old sheep and a male old sheep. So he's going to be a ram with ram's horns. This is a baby lamb done with a very soft cream colored fleece and pink fleece on the inside. Easy fabric to work with. And this one, although it looks adorable, this fabric is so annoying because of these little curly hairs, and they get all over everything. So this one, I actually lined it using the same pink fleece, and it's adorable. It's a Velcro enclosure, but I had to line it because I couldn't have any raw edges. I couldn't just fold it over like some of the other fabrics. But it really is adorable for a sheep's head. And here is a gray sheep made with gray fleece. I absolutely love working with fleece. It is so nice to sew with. It's so easy to work with. And you don't even have to line it. You just fold over the edges and give it a nice seam. So it's got raw edges. So it's really quick and easy. I have different color sheep because I want different personalities, different characters for my Christmas. And here's more of a golden color. This is not fleece. It's sort of a fake fur, but it's a short fur, so it's not too bad to work with. And with this one, again, I did not have to use any lining on the inside. I just folded it over, and that will work. So it's not too bad to work with. And here is a black sheep. You've heard of black sheep. Baba black sheep, have you any wool? But anyways, this is kind of a fake fur, but it's a short fur. Easy to work with. And again, different colors because I wanted to have different personalities in my sheep costume. Now this it looks more like the woolly sheep of a sheep, and it's kind of got a suede back. This is a lot harder to work with, especially when it comes to putting the ears in. There's a lot of thickness right here, and because of the pile, it's fairly thick. You have to trim the pile in your seams. I did break a few needles using this, so it's not the easiest fabric to work with. And in my test, having my students testing out their costume, this fabric made them hot, especially if this play is going to be inside. So it's probably, and this fabric is more expensive. I only bought a little bit just to see, what it would look like. I was trying different fabrics. I think I would much prefer the fleece to work with. This would be great for a lining inside of a coat because it is very warm. And I think I made these ears too big. That was one of the first ones I made, and I think I'm going to take the ears off and I'm going to redo them because I think I made them too long, too floppy. But this is a large size. This is an adult size because I'm making small, medium, and large. But that's what this fabric kind of looks like. I am going to use plastic bags to form my ram's horn because I don't want the horns to be heavy. And I've got millions of plastic bags because I have been guilted into, don't throw them away. And I use them for a lot of things. I use them for packing. I use them for kitty litter. I use them for the small garbage cans in the bathrooms and in the office. I use them for packing, padding, a lot of things. And for trash bags in the car. So now, and sometimes I do use them for stuffing inside of costumes. So I could find 1,000,001 uses for them, but I'm still overrun. I have so many of them. I'm going to show you how you can use them to make ram's horns. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is kind of fold them up. And then I'm just going to wrap them around. And this is probably going to take quite a few, which is good because I got plenty of them. And I'm just going to use a little piece of duct tape to secure them. Doesn't matter what color the duct tape is, because I'm actually going to cover the whole thing with fabric when I'm finished. And I'll just keep adding bags until I have it as big as I want. Have them thick enough. Now they will hang down kind of like this. And with the wire, I can bend them to get them the right shape. Just need to make sure I leave enough space here. Now I am going to cover them with fabric, so they're not going to look just like this, but this kind of gives you the idea. See, I can bend it up a little bit more if I want to. I do want to make sure that this is curved so it'll lay on top of the head. And I need to give enough space for the width of the person's head. Now the fabric, when I put the fabric on, that's when it's going to be more secure to the sides. with the fabric, because I'll be able to sew the fabric to this here. So that's the beginning of it. So we have them shaped with the wire and the plastic bags held together by duct tape. Next, I need to sew the fabric to cover them. So I have one covered with fabric, and it's just, I measured the length of the horn, and I want to make sure that I have extra 1 inch allowance on both sides. I'm just going to fold it in half and sew it like this. So I made sure that it's wide enough at this end to go all the way around and have seam allowance, and narrow at this end, and I just drew 2 straight lines so the piece looks kind of like this, narrow and wide, and then we sew it like this. And since it's going to be curved, and it's okay if it has wrinkles in it, because I just add a little texture to it. I also clip the curves. Well, it's a straight stitch, but I'm gonna clip the curves so that way it'll be easier for it to bend. And right now it's just on there, but I am going to sew this down so that it's sewn all the way around the base, so that it's thoroughly attached. And that will keep it in position. And I can still, I can bend these, curl it as much as I want, because the wire inside will help to hold that bend. Okay, I have the other one sewn, and I cut little slits all along here. You want to trim the corner, because all of this is going to be folded on the inside. You don't want too much fabric on the corner. Okay, so then we just, and this is actually extra long. I have extra, at the end, the extra fabric is just folded underneath, because I want to have a nice clean edge. So there's about an extra 1 to 1.5 inches. So we just start turning this inside out. And there's no trick or a fast, clever way to do this that I know of. One thing that does help to help push it out is the handle of a long wooden spoon to help push that end out. I want my seam underneath. My seam is going to be like this. Okay, so So here's the finished product. I had to hand sew this on after I pinned them in place. The ears, I needed to move them back further so they're behind the horns. This is actually an adult size, and this mannequin head is really kind of small. So it looks kind of bulky on here, but yeah. This works. It's not heavy, and these wires inside help hold it shape.